Now, in that pandemic, we are fighting for a whole different cause now, which is, it's almost like which one takes precedence, because it's like you don't want to still get sick. As I was watching everybody protest, some people had masks, some people didn't have masks, you know. And I know, Ali, you said that you were out there protesting.
Yeah, I've been out there. You know, coronavirus sent us into the house, and racism brought us back out.
This is
Racism is undefeated.
because that policeman, Chauvin, when they upped his sentence to, I mean, not sentence, but
charges.
Charges to second-degree murder. We felt like, okay, that's what I'm talking about. But then the family is feeling like, no, that's still not really justice. And then we were fighting and rallying and protesting because they did not arrest the other 3 officers. But today, this morning, they did.
Yeah.
Everyone is in handcuffs. Everyone is in jail now. You know,
I got arrested before those other 3 cops did.
Which is a shame, which is crazy.
Literally.
Do tell.
I was taken into custody before they were.
Do tell.
I was downtown last night, Los Angeles, and we were on the steps of City Hall there. And you know, there was a pretty sizable crowd there. It wasn't as big as the one that was in Hollywood, but it was, you know, everybody showed up and they had the signs, and you know, the officers were getting on the bullhorn. You know, the curfew is at 6 o'clock. Curfew is at 6 o'clock, and one of the young guys out there. I mean, and it's amazing to see. You know, they're young, they're energetic, and every time the police would get on his bullhorn, there's a noise-making siren on the megaphones. He would just turn it on and just pointed at him. Yeah, literally that. And then the crowd would start going, "We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you." And their thing was like, if you're not listening to us, we're not going to listen to you. Then they literally, so it's a line of LAPD, and then behind them on the steps is the National Guard. So then the crowd, they get on the megaphone, this guy, and he goes, literally, if you guys take a knee, we'll leave. It's like, if you just take a knee, just be with us for a second. If you take a knee, we'll leave. They stood there. 6 o'clock came, that was past curfew. 6:30 came, that was past curfew. And so then the crowd started to move, but by that time they'd sent you know, different groups of officers around to cordon off this area around First Street and Los Angeles. So as it kind of started to close in, I mean, guys started hopping fences and all this kind of stuff. And eventually they moved in and they arrested everybody who was there. And I was taken to stations just a few blocks from there. And processing just took, like, you know, a couple hours. I mean, it wasn't dramatic in that regard. I got a little footage. I got a court date in October. But yeah, that.
Wow.
I was out there a little bit, and because I felt like I wasn't really doing anything in quarantine, trying to protect my family, but yet all of this is going on out there and I'm not in it. I'm watching people that are Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, all these people out there, and I'm sitting here. Mm-hmm. And then I felt like, well, do I justify that? Because I am this public figure, so I don't want that to be taken out of content of I'm coming to show up because of the wrong reasons, you know? So now I'm covered up. But being out there made me feel like a part of that. I was doing my part. And a lot of people kind of condemned me because the next day I came home and I was so heavy and I was so angry. I was so hurt, confused on a roller coaster till I went to what I felt that would bring me out of it, which is music.
Yeah.
And I started dancing, but the dancing was like jack my body dancing. And I was dancing. Yeah, a little bit of that, you know what I mean?
Like the opening, do the right thing.
You know, just a little bit of crying and just to get it out. And people gave it to me too. You know, they gave me some backlash. They was like, this is not the time to be dancing. We don't want to see that. And then in the opposite side of that, it was, thank you for taking our mind away from what's going on for just a split minute. You know what I mean? And so, Justin, I don't know. Have you gone out to protest, or have you been a part of that, or have you just stayed quarantined and you used?
I stayed quarantined. I stayed quarantined. You know, I was like, I've been to many a protest. This felt like a really big deal to me, but I I don't want to catch COVID, because here's the deal. I'm trying to put together a television show that will last for ages to keep talking about this.
Yeah.
And for me, it was important to give my money, my time, and my resources. But I kept my body inside. I kept this Black body inside.
Yeah.
But it's gone out there many a times. And I feel a lot of guilt about that decision. And I feel every time this happens, I wonder, did I do enough? Did I do enough? But at the end of the day, like this situation needs people in every possible lane. I read something on Instagram today about this. It's like,
Right.
we need people who are telling you it's okay to stay in bed, because guess what? As Black people, our mental health is really important. And like we are literally in post-traumatic stress all of the time. And
Right.
so sometimes the most radical thing you can do is to take care of your mental health.
Yeah.
If you are able-bodied and you are feeling it, and you got your mask together and you got the sanitizer, and you want to get out there, then do that. But I think I think it's kind of productive to shame Black people for handling it in a way that is true to them. And a way that's true to me, honestly, is the work that I do. And so I spent a lot of time going back over my series and other things and looking for moments where we've spoken to this exact. I mean, the other thing is, like, we've been speaking to these issues for so long, and I'm so glad that white people care now, and I'm so glad that like people are out in these streets and whatever. But like, it's not like I'm new to this particular
Right.
party. So
Right.
I went into my vault and I pulled out some old tracks and I put those out on the Instagram. And I tried to figure out, like, where can I invest my money and my time? I really spent that day learning and teaching myself. And if that's not enough for some people, then that's too bad. But I'm really proud of us for showing up, and not just Black people, but people who say they're allies, who really went out into the streets and like helped out.
Yeah.